Live from NBC4, this is the Channel 4 News at 6.
And here at 6 o'clock, we'll start out with a weather and a cold weather warning. Tonight is going to be the coldest night of the year so far.
Plus, words of caution after a family used a heating device in their home that could have killed them. Pablo Pereira is standing by with the forecast. But first, we begin with Channel 4's Ted Chen live in Long Beach. Ted?
Anna, these two victims of carbon monoxide poisoning went back to the hospital this afternoon for a checkup. It is expected that they will recover, but experts say this is a reminder to all of us for home heating when it gets cold.
It's not her fault because she's a sweet lady and she's not...
Her son says the 64-year-old woman simply didn't know any better. It was a cold night, and she brought the backyard barbecue inside the house to get warm.
We have central heating and we have a bunch of electrical heaters, but they would dry out. She was home alone. They would dry out her nose or they would give her nosebleeds, so she wasn't used to it.
With the charcoal barbecue inside, it wasn't long before she passed out. She and her daughter were brought to Long Beach Memorial Hospital, where the daughter also showed symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning.
This can save your life.
Captain Mike DeRee of the Long Beach Fire Department suggests all homeowners get carbon monoxide detectors.
If you have a carbon monoxide detector, this will give you an early warning that there is carbon monoxide buildup in the house, give you and your family ample time to get out.
Every year, some 500 people nationwide die from carbon monoxide poisoning, often in low-income areas. But Denise King of the Southern California Gas Company says there are options for people worried about the cost of heating their homes.
If it's a homeowner occupying the home, they may also qualify for a new furnace. And so we want to make sure our customers are aware of these programs.
Captain DeRee says regular inspection and maintenance of home heating systems is critical, as is knowing what can and can't be used.
We were lucky that my sister was home at the time and that I came out at the time. So, I mean, if there was no one else, then it would have been pretty disastrous.
Symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning include nausea and dizziness and flu-like symptoms. The gas company does offer free inspections of gas appliances in your home. For more on how cold it's going to get tonight and for the rest of the week, let's go now to my colleague Pablo Pereira. Pablo.
Ted, thanks. In fact, it was the coldest temperature ever recorded in the city of Long Beach overnight last night, getting down to 36 degrees, breaking the previous record of 38 set back in 1975. Live Weather Plus Doppler radar showing temperatures already beginning to cool off tonight. Freeze warnings in effect for the Inland Empire tonight. Frost advisories for much of the coastal areas. Let's check some of the other record lows besides Long Beach overnight. 18 degrees in Palmdale, 16 in Lancaster, and 31 degrees breaks a record in Camarillo of 32 degrees. Yes, tonight will be the coldest night of the week. Just how long this cold snap will last, we'll have the answer for you when we come back in a few minutes. We'll see you then.
Right, we'll see you then, Pablo. And tonight, a local hospital is working to solve a bacterial crisis in its neonatal unit. And today, the family of an infant who died there speaks out for the first time. Channel 4's Conan Nolan is live for us in Boyle Heights. Conan?
Chuck, just a day after the announced death of this infant, the parents have filed a lawsuit. They argue that they're simply trying to get answers to exactly what happened to their newborn son. On the murals outside White Memorial Medical Center, testament to the generations it has served. Monica Rodriguez's newborn is now just a month old.
Yo digo que sí, es bueno.
This is a good hospital, she says. But just a few miles away, outside LA County Court, one family expresses heartache over what they say was a betrayal. David and Lucina Marin's baby was born at White Memorial 1 month ago. It wasn't long after that the child's condition started to deteriorate.
Every day we come to the hospital, we see something different, something worse.
The Marin's infant son died yesterday morning, becoming the second baby to succumb to a bacterial outbreak which has closed the neonatal care unit at White Memorial. Both cases connected to a bacterial infection the hospital believes was transmitted through a medical tool used during intubation that was not properly sterilized. The Marin family has filed a lawsuit.
A properly sterilized laryngoscope should not be carrying on an infection from child to child to child.
The Pseudomonas aeruginosa bacteria is commonly found in water, sometimes in the air. Most who get exposed do not get sick, but to those with depressed immune systems, it can be deadly. Such was the case with the Marin's baby, born 4.5 months premature. Dr. Lorraine Mascola, head of LA County's Acute Communicable Disease Program, says sometimes it is the very procedures used to save the patient that result in the infection.
It's sort of that balance of you have to do some type of instrumentation for these sick people, and sometimes Pseudomonas, which is common in the hospital environment, common in water supplies, occasionally cross-contaminates some equipment and gets people sick with this bacteria.
This is our first baby. I don't know how many parents, fathers, they are in the same situation like we are right now. But I hope they don't pass through for these moments.
Now, White Memorial is investigating, of course. They say 8 other infants in the neonatal center tested positive for this bacteria, but they did not result in an infection. The hospital also says that it has been serving the Boyle Heights community for the past 95 years, and it is intent on getting to the root of this problem and making sure that the safety of the patients here remains its priority. Conan Nolan reporting live from Boyle Heights, Channel 4 News.
Breaking news right now in Sherman Oaks. It's a power outage. Desiree Horton and News Chopper 4 with more. Desiree.
Well, this is the intersection of Woodman and Oxnard here in Sherman Oaks, and about 900 customers, DWP customers, are without power. We are being told by DWP that a tree fell on some power lines, knocking out the power in this area and at various intersections, also affecting the orange line. We're watching the bus go through intersections without signals. There are no lights working at some of those intersections in this area that span about a mile. Not live from News Chopper 4, I'm Desiree Horton. Back to you in the studio.
In the war in Iraq, President Bush is now considering sending a, quote, surge of additional troops, and the Pentagon is blaming Iraqi insurgents, not the terrorists, for most of the violence in that country. Pentagon says the attacks in Iraq are at their highest level ever, 5 times as many attacks in Baghdad this month as there were in December of last year, and the president's considering sending another 30,000 troops into the war zone. Reports say that the Joint Chiefs of Staff are advising against that move. Also, the U.S. is planning to send yet another aircraft carrier into the Persian Gulf region to discourage Iran from shipping munitions to Shiites in Iraq.
Honors tonight for a local soldier home from Iraq. The city of Monterey Park presented an award today to Army Specialist Izzy Flores for his heroic actions that saved the lives of 11 people last June. Details now from Channel 4's Carrie Berglund.
When you take a look at Izzy Flores, you see a fresh-faced kid just out of his teens. But when you hear about this young man's actions on the battlefield in Iraq, a very different image starts to take shape. This now 21-year-old kid from Monterey Park is no kid at all. He is, in fact, a hero of the Iraq War. As of Memorial Day weekend, 11 people owe their lives to U.S. Army Specialist Combat Medic 1st Battalion, 12th Infantry Regiment, 4th Brigade Combat Team, 4th Infantry Division, Izzy Flores, Jr.
This is the key to our city.
Today, Specialist Flores was honored at City Hall in Monterey Park for keeping a cool head when a vehicle exploded on the streets of Baghdad. Dodging shrapnel and bullets, he treated the injured and waited with them until they were safely out of harm's way. And then, Combat Medic Flores pulled security detail until his team had left safely.
Job entails just us taking care of each other over there, making sure we all come back home to our families and our loved ones. So it's something we all try to do for each other, and we all take care of each other.
We hear the same thing from every true hero, just doing their job, what they were trained to do. But history has also taught us that extraordinary events can only bring out the extraordinary in people if it is there to begin with. Izzy Flores went to Baghdad with what it takes to be a hero.
There's not a day that goes by I can't think about it. It's not that I have, bad flashbacks or anything like that, but I mean, it stays with you, something like that.
And his family and friends here in Monterey Park are not only proud of him, but grateful that he also had the ability and the luck to make it back home again.
As a mom, you're always the one. You go pick them up, you go make sure they're okay, you give them a hug, you talk to them, and you just want to know they're okay.
But this is a brief visit home. Flores has re-upped for another 3 years and will be Sergeant Flores before too long.
Well, I can't believe he has done all this.
Even for you?
Yes.
Still, for the man at the center of all this attention today,
I'm waiting for someone to say, yeah, April Fools or something.
No chance of that, Specialist Flores. No chance at all. In Monterey Park, Carrie Berglund, Channel 4 News.
The Stater Brothers grocery store chain today donated another $40,000 to the special fund that's been set up for the families of the firefighters who died in the Esperanza fire.
So when this tragedy hit, we all wanted to jump in and help as
Jackie Brown, who's the chairman of Stater Brothers, is a former firefighter himself. At least 2 of the firefighters who died in Riverside County in October had connections to Stater Brothers. Today's check comes from donations from employees and customers, and it brings the Esperanza Firefighter Assistant Fund now to $1.2 million.
His book and his TV deal were canceled.
Yes, they were. But O.J. Simpson may still have to pay for the If I Did It book. We'll have more on that coming up, and also this.
I'm Vicki Vargas in Santa Ana. There's a lot of private information within the public documents here. What's to keep it from getting into the wrong hands? A live report.
2 grieving families joined police today to ask for the public's help in solving the murders of their sons. One case involves the murder of young Christopher Fregoso. He was killed while sitting outside the home of his friend Jose Velez in Cypress Park on October 14th. The LA City Council has authorized a $75,000 reward for information that helps solve this case. The other case involves the murder of 17-year-old Zelvin Reyes. He was at a party with other Lincoln High School graduates last July when a fight broke out. He intervened to stop a beating and was shot in the back. A $50,000 reward is being offered in that case.
O.J. Simpson, once again tonight, is being sued by the family of Ron Goldman. The Goldman's attorney says that Simpson fraudulently profited from the book If I Did It, rather than paying the civil judgment that he still owes the Goldman family. They have been quite tenacious. The federal lawsuit claims today that O.J. Simpson created just a dummy corporation and used his children's middle names and received a $1.1 million advance for the ill-fated book and the television interview, which, as you know, were later canceled. But the suit says the payment was already a done deal. Fred Goldman is seeking that same amount plus personal damages, but his lawyer believes that O.J. Simpson has probably already spent the money.
Well, we broke some records last night, and it is going to be cold enough to break them again tonight.
Wow. Some places will get into the 20s. We'll have the forecast coming up. If you ever file or record a public document, just beware that in some cases your personal information, anything you put on that paper, could be accessed by just about anybody.
Well, we first told you about this potential for identity theft last week. Channel 4's Vicki Vargas live right now in Santa Ana outside the Hall of Records with a follow-up to that story. Vicki?
And Anna, to begin with, we're talking about 2 different types of records. There are vital records, birth certificates, death certificates. To get copies of those, you must be a family member or have a power of attorney. But when it comes to property records with tax liens, court judgments, once they land in this office, they are open to public perusal. County officials throughout the state say their doors and public documents are wide open, because it's the law. But within those public documents are reams of private information. We were able to access a tax lien for one Julio Perez. For $2, I got a printed copy with his Social Security number and driver's license on it. No identification was required. In Riverside County, the clerk recorder says thousands of documents are recorded here every day. Even the information on a military discharge is available to anyone using these computers.
Anybody who's recording a document, say a power of attorney or anything that they have any control over, know that that information becomes a public document and that anybody and everybody have access to that information.
The government is compromising their own issues.
It was a shock to Lisanne Martinez, who stumbled across the information while searching for her former landlord.
If there's terrorists that come and they can go and access that information and just have a perfectly good document, who's at fault?
Channel 4 News has learned this lack of privacy goes beyond California. On a website called the Virginia Watchdog, there is reference to the same issue in a handful of states, including Florida, where a public quitclaim deed lists Governor Jeb Bush's Social Security number. Back in Los Angeles, officials say they have a bigger problem with real estate fraud than identity theft. Even in Orange County, the concern is minimal.
I've worked for the office for over 15 years, and to my knowledge, there has not been one instance of fraud related to our property records.
So what can you do? Well, not a whole lot. One official tells us he wants people to know that once those documents hit this office, as they do in various counties, everything on those sheets becomes public. He advises people to look them over before they're recorded. Live in Santa Ana, I'm Vicki Vargas, Channel 4 News.
Now to the weather, and Pablo was saying earlier it's going to be very cold out there tonight.
We saw 14 record low temperatures tied or broken overnight last night, with temperatures expected to be just a little bit colder tonight. More records are likely to fall. I'll show you the live weather plus Doppler radar outside this evening. We're not picking up any precipitation anywhere. Temperatures cooling off, though, low to mid-50s along the coast. We're getting 40s up near Santa Clarita, 38 degrees already in Lancaster. Some record low temperatures falling around the area. Yes, we had quite a few, as we mentioned. Here's a few more for you. Ontario, 35. Idlewild, 14 degrees. Even the airport, LAX, tied a record low of 39. New record low at Santa Barbara Airport, just 28 degrees. Our headlines, yeah, it's going to be colder tonight. A mountain breeze out there, not quite as windy everywhere else, but a warmer weekend in store for us, so certainly some good news there. We've got some frost advisories, freeze warnings to talk about. The frost advisory for much of the coastal areas of Southern California through 9 o'clock Wednesday morning. That means temperatures below 32 degrees for a period of 6 hours or more. Freeze warnings in effect for the Inland Empire through 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Temperatures there expected to fall below just 28 degrees. Here's a look at the satellite radar map, that big ridge of high pressure bringing the very cold air in from northern Canada and out to the west as well. A weak front moves through tomorrow night. We'll get a few clouds, so that means things won't be quite as cold tomorrow night. A secondary front moves through Thursday night into Friday, brings a little bit of light rain just to our north. We don't expect to see any rainfall out of that. With less wind tonight, temperatures will drop down to 16 at Lancaster. Very cold night up in the Antelope Valley. 63 the high tomorrow in Lake Elsinore. Temperatures on average warming up on Wednesday, 2 to 3 degrees in most areas. Glendale 65, 63 degrees in Anaheim, Malibu 64 degrees. Still cold up in Santa Clarita, just 57. Check of your live weather plus 7-day forecast shows 64 downtown LA tomorrow. Few clouds roll in Thursday evening, 67. A little bit cloudy on Friday. Rain stays to our north, 66 degrees. Beautiful looking weekend, though. Temperatures up near 70, actually above normal. The overnight lows warm up a half a dozen degrees or so. Christmas Day, absolutely gorgeous out there. 70 degrees and 49 the overnight low. Cold tonight. Throw another log on the fire. Bundle up. We'll see you at 11 o'clock.
All right, thank you, Pablo. We've got breaking news right now. Hancock Park, there is a house on fire. Desiree Horton in News Chopper 4 with more.
Well, a very large house, you can see. We're hearing this may possibly be a knockdown. We're trying to get the address right now. We just pulled up on scene, but LA City Fire Department on scene doing a great job of getting this fire under control. This is in Hancock Park, and you can see that is a very large two-story home. We saw a lot of smoke coming from the structure, still some smoke coming out, but no active flames at this time. Once again, this may possibly be a knockdown, so that is the good news, and no word on any injuries at this time. Live from News Chopper 4, I'm Desiree Horton. Back to you in the studio.
Just ahead, Donald Trump says that she got caught up in the whirlwind of New York City.
What's next for Party Girl, Miss USA? Coming up.
Also, Lakers open a 6-game road trip in Chicago. Allen Iverson finally traded. Plus, former Dodger closer Eric Gagne is officially introduced as a Texas Ranger. Colleen.
All right, Mario, then tonight on the Channel 4 News at 11, Staples Center investigation, a story you will only see right here on the Channel 4 News. It's our exclusive report at 11. Also new at 11, you've seen what a taser can do. Tonight, why you may see more and more police officers armed with them. We'll have those stories and all the late-breaking news tonight after Law & Order SVU on Southern California's #1 newscast, the Channel 4 News at 11.
Here he is, Mario with sports.
All right, Chuck, thank you. Looking to fill the void created when leading scorer Carmelo Anthony was suspended 15 games, the Denver Nuggets found the answer, acquiring 7-time All-Star guard Allen Iverson from the Sixers in a blockbuster trade. Iverson, who's averaging over 31 points a game this season, goes to the Mile High City for guard Andre Miller, forward Joe Smith, and a pair of 2007 first-round draft picks. The deal comes about 2 weeks after AI demanded a trade from Philadelphia, with whom he's played his entire career. Now, a four-time champion in scoring, Iverson will make more than $60 million over the next 3 years. And if you're wondering, the Nuggets have already played in Philadelphia this season, so any reunion with Philly fans will not take place until next year. Of course, the Clippers were in the Iverson sweepstakes but refused to part with guard Sean Livingston. Clippers are off until tomorrow when they host the Raptors. Lakers, meanwhile, open a 6-game road trip tonight in Chicago. At 16-8, Lakers are just a half game behind the Suns in the Pacific. Phil Jackson giving Vlade Radmanovic an earful early on in this one. Tight game in the first. Kobe Bryant pulls up with 2 guys on him and drops the jumper. Lakers down by 1. Final seconds of the quarter. Bryant can convert. But youngster Andrew Bynum, perfect timing for the tip-in at the buzzer. Right now, in the second, Lakers lead 38-31. To baseball, former Dodger outfielder Jason Worth has signed a one-year deal with the Phillies, and former closer Eric Gagne was officially introduced today in Texas after signing a one-year, $6 million deal with the Rangers. Of course, Gagne was out most of the last 2 seasons due to injury, but now claims he's healthy and feels better than ever. As for leaving the Dodgers, he holds no regret and looks forward to a change of scenery.
Me and the Dodgers have a great relationship, so I'm just happy to be here. You know, I'm in a good situation here. I'm with a team that wants to win. You know, they're committed to winning, and that's all that matters to me. I mean, Dodger, it was great, it was fun, but that's in the past, and now I'm just looking forward to new challenges, and I think it's the best place for me to be here.
By the way, Dodgers and Rangers will not face each other next season in interleague play, so your only chance to see Gagne will be at an Angels game. To the NFL, players for the Pro Bowl game were announced today. NFC quarterbacks include the Rams' Mark Bulger, the Cowboys' Tony Romo, and the Saints' Drew Brees. As for the AFC, the Chargers' Phillip Rivers, the Colts' Peyton Manning, and the Bengals' Carson Palmer are headed to Hawaii. The Chargers, by the way, send a league-high 9 players to the game February the 10th. And finally, Stanford introduced its new football coach, former NFL quarterback Jim Harbaugh, who claims that he's following a lifelong dream.
Coaching is something that I knew I would do my entire life. Back before I could even remember, being 4 or 5 years old, I knew I would play as long as I possibly could, then I would coach, and then I would die. It was.
Let's hope there's a lot of distance between those.
A lot of work ahead of him. All right, that's it for us. Back to you guys.
Thank you. A tearful Miss USA thanked Donald Trump today after he decided to let her keep her crown, despite reports that she had been walking on the wild side in New York City. Tara Conner of Kentucky met with Trump this morning to talk about recent media accounts of her alleged drug use and heavy drinking while underage. Conner turned 21 on Monday. Trump, who is co-owner of the Miss Universe pageant, says that he decided to give her a second chance.
Mr. Trump, I want to thank you. You'll never know what this means to me, and I swear I will not let you down.
Trump says Conner will enter rehab, and if she makes the slightest mistake, she will be replaced.
If you're filling out your holiday shopping gift list with gift cards, you're not alone. The National Retail Federation estimates now that $25 billion of these cards are going to be purchased this season. That is $1 billion more than last year. However, nearly 1 in 5 of the gift cards, take note here, Anna,
yes,
have not been used.
I know.
You give them, they don't use them.
I know. I even have gift cards in my wallet that I haven't used yet.
There you go.
That's just a statistic. All right. Good night, everyone.